Gulf cooperation we did, and now it's defense and security related question. Defense and security related questions. So here, first question is North Atlantic Treaty Organization NATO. So this NATO become the 31st and 32 members respectively. 31st and 32 member, like first is Finland and second is Sweden. So Finland become the 31st and Sweden become the 32nd member. Finland is a part of NATO collective defense. It is for the defense security. Article 5 of the North Atlantic Treaty of the North Atlantic Treaty. The genesis is 1949 and it is a Washington Treaty. It is a Washington Treaty. It is a Washington Treaty and its headquarters is in Brussels or Belgium. Brussels or Belgium. Purpose is a military alliance. Purpose is a military alliance. Military alliance. Article 51 of the UN Charter. Article 51 of the UN Charter. So, major non-NATO allies status. It is a designation under the US law that provide the foreign partners areas defense and security. This is for defense plus security and make the part of NATO plus grouping. So, what is NATO plus grouping? NATO plus grouping is the rejected framework, and NATO plus 5, that is together NATO and 5 aligned nation, that is Australia, New Zealand, Japan, Israel, and South Korea. These are to boost the intelligence, intelligence ties. So there's Australia, New Zealand, Japan, and Israel and South Korea want to boost the intelligence. Next question is Financial Action Task Force. What do you understand with Financial Action Task Force and what the meaning of grey list? Okay, so this is the question. First, this Financial Action Task Force team visited India to conduct the country online assessment for fourth round mutual evaluation. It is a fourth round evaluation. Fourth round evaluation. Okay, this is a fourth round evaluation, and this is the final review of the meeting was in the 2024, and this was in the depth country report analyzing the implementation and the effectiveness of the combat money laundering. So money laundering is a very big issue. Money laundering and terror financing and terror financing. Money laundering and terror financing. So established by the G7 summit. This was established by the G7 summit, and this was in the Paris 1989. So it was headquartered is in Paris, an intergovernmental body. It is a intergovernmental body. It is a intergovernmental body, and that is the Global Anti-Money Laundering, Anti-Money Laundering, Anti-Money Laundering, and the counter the terror financing, terror finance, relying the global network for this regional body, and it was the Asia Pacific Money Laundering. Asia Pacific Money Laundering. So suspended Russia's membership over the Ukraine war. So Financial Action Task Force, presently Russia is not the member of this because of Ukraine war, and added the South Africa, Nigeria as a grey list. And South Africa and Nigeria, these two countries are in the grey list. Why they are grey list? Because they are doing money laundering and the terrorism financing. Pakistan was removed from 2022. So Pakistan also removed in 2022 and report on crowdfunding for the terrorism financing. So there is a problem of crowd funding also, and the grey list is like a jurisdiction over increased monitoring. So they made a grey list to increase the monitoring, and countries that are considered safe haven for the supporting terror funding, money laundering, they are included in the grey list. Black list is high risk. So second list is here blacklist, and that is about the high risk of high risk of jurisdiction to the call for action. It is for call for action. Okay. Next is non-cooperative country of territory. So this is all about the terror financing, grey list, money laundering. Next is Interpol. Next one is Interpol. So this Interpol is the 91st General Assembly meeting. In the General Assembly meeting, International Criminal Police Organization, International Criminal Police Organization, and that is the Vienna. That is the Vienna Conference. Under that CBI Academy of India, it is a CBI Academy of India that joined the Interpol Global Academy Network. So this is a global academy network. This is a global academy network, and there's all the CBIs are there. It was established in 1923. Help work together to make the work safer place. The world should be safer place, and its headquarters is in Lyon, France. Lyon, France. Okay, so that was in Genesis is in 1923. Facilitate the information between the police, and 196 members are there. General Assembly, the organization is General Assembly, General Secretariat, and Executive Committee, National Central Bureau. So Interpol is for India is a Central Bureau of Investigation (CBI). Okay, so there are lots of notices which are important. First is the red notice. So red notice is for the wanted person. Second is the yellow notice. Yellow notice is for the missing person. Third one is the blue notice. Blue notice is for the additional information. Black notice is for the unidentified body. Unidentified body. And green notice is for the warning and intelligence. Warning and intelligence. An imminent threat is orange notice. Orange notice is for the imminent threat. Imminent threat. So, red notice for the wanted person, yellow notice for the missing person, blue notice for the additional information, black for an unidentified. Warning is in the green notice, orange notice for the imminent person, imminent threat. Sorry, green is for the warning, and orange is for the imminent threat, and purple is for the modus operandi. Purple is for the modus operandi. So, group of individuals subject to UNSC sanctions. Say there is a UNSC sanctions also. And organization structure is General Assembly, which is governing body. General Secretariat, it is day-to-day activities of support. Executive Committee, that was 13 member comprising a president plus 3 vice president plus 9 delegates. National Central Bureau, that is a country focal point for the Interpol. National Central Bureau, only organization with the mandate and technical infrastructure to share the police information. First was the police information I-Core program. I-Core program, that was a new technology, big data plus intelligence. 7 global policing goal, 2030 sustainable development goal, sustainable development goal 2030, and reports Interpol Global Crime Trend Report. So it creates the Global Crime Trend Report. Marcolin Convention. Next one is Marcolin Convention. This convention was Interpol Match Fixing Task Force. It is for the match fixing task force. Okay, so that is the Marcolin Convention. Marcolin Convention, and it is to convention of the manipulation of sport competitors. And Marcolin Convention is a multilateral treaty aimed at checking the match fixing. So this Marcolin Convention is a very important convention. Marcolin, which is basically for the against the match fixer who did the match fixing. So Interpol Genesis was 1923, and headquarter it is in Lyon and France to facilitate the information exchange between national police forces and CBI Academy and all that. So there are some notices: red for the wanted missing person, yellow, blue for additional information, black for unidentified body, वार्निंग के लिए ग्रीन है, एमिनेंट थ्रेट के लिए ऑरेंज है, और मॉडिस पॉपरेंडी के लिए पर्पल है. मार्कोलिन कन्वेंशन है. आईकोर प्रोग्राम है. आईकोर इज फॉर द न्यू टेक्नोलॉजी एंड द बिग डाटा इन द इंटरपोल, एंड मार्कोलिन कन्वेंशन है दैट इज फॉर द मैच फिक्सिंग के अगेंस्ट है. ठीक है. लुका छुपी Next is Indian Ocean Rim Association. Indian Ocean Rim Association. Forum for India Pacific Iceland Cooperation. India Pacific Iceland. Forum for India Pacific Iceland and 12-point program. 12-point program. 12-point program about the Forum Pacific Iceland Cooperation FIPIC. So FIPIC is working as a 14 Iceland countries. 14 Iceland countries. 14 Iceland countries are working, and in that there is a Cook Island, Fiji, Kiribati, Marshall, Niue, Palau, Papua New Guinea, Samoa. Key Pacific Island consists of the Melanesia. First is Melanesia, Melanesia. Second is the Micronesia. Third is the Polynesia. So these three, Melanesia, Micronesia, Polynesia, all three are connected in the all three are consist of the Pacific Island. Pacific Island, and this is a larger exclusive economic zone. Exclusive economic zone, and we can found the natural resources plus mineral resources also. Plus mineral resources also. So recently, the International Solar Alliance, there is a Star Sea. Star Sea initiative to Pacific Island country. So Star Sea is an international solar alliance which is it is to consisting the expanding the international solar alliance, that was Star Sea initiative. So Star Sea initiative is for the international solar alliance to be expanding in the Pacific Island. Solar Technology Application Resource Center. This is project to build Star Center, which is hub of the technology of solar, and it is jointly with the ISA plus UNIDO. Both are working for the Star Sea. So the International Solar Alliance plus UNIDO both are working for this. Okay. Now next question is about the small one, and that is the Eastern Economic Forum. Eastern Economic Forum, that was the East Eastern Economic Forum in the Russia of the Vladivostok, that is in the Vladivostok. It was 2050 to encourage the foreign investment and easternmost part of the Russia for the foreign investment in the east part of the Russia. It encompasses 1 by 3rd Russian territory. 1 by 3rd territory. You can find the fish, oil, natural gas, and China is the biggest investor in the. First is China, then will be South Korea, then will be the Japan. Partners in the Blue Pacific. Blue Pacific. Blue Pacific. So this is the foreign minister meeting of the partner of the Blue Pacific. Diplomatic economic ties are there for the informal mechanism. फर्स्ट इज ब्लू पैसिफिक के लिए जो कंट्रीज है वो डिप्लोमेटिक ट्राइज कर रही हैं, दैट इज अबाउट द यूएसए, देन विल बी द ऑस्ट्रेलिया, देन विल बी द ऑस्ट्रेलिया, देन विल बी द न्यूजीलैंड, Then will be the United Kingdom and the Japan. Now next is G77. So here you can see USA, Australia, uh, in the Pacific Forum, economic partners of the Blue Pacific. There's a USA, Australia, New Zealand, United Kingdom, and the Japan. Okay. Now next one is G77. This G77 is a global. It's a global G77 plus China in Cuba summit. Okay. This is because China worked closely with the group, and this is Genesis is 1964, and through the measure to country in the south to articulate the collective economic interest within the UN system. It also promotes South-South cooperation. So this is for the South-South cooperation, and this was came into 1964 and largest intergovernmental organization of developing country in the United Nations to develop countries in the United Nations. Countries in the United Nations. Next one is G24. G24, a group of developing nations. They are developing, not developed. Developing nations, and that is the Independent Expert Group Reform Multilateral Development Bank. It is established in 1971 and it was chapter formally created, and the Intergovernmental Group 24 on the International Monetary Affairs and Development of Developing Country on Monetary and the Development Issues. So this 28 members are the part of this group. Plus China is also the part, including the India, and India is also included this, and its secretariat in the Washington DC, and Washington DC in the IMF headquarters. G20 is the group of the developing nation. I to U two. I to U2. This is under the India. There's India, then Israel, then UAE, and this is the new joint space venture aimed to creating unique space-based tool for policy making and entrepreneurship. For policy making and entrepreneurship, this is a grouping of the India, Israel, USA, and UAE. So I2U2, there is India, Israel, USA, and UAE, and Genesis is 2021, and this is Abraham Accord. Abraham Accord, and it deals with the security and mutual interest for partnership in trade. AUKUS. This AUKUS was the Australia, United Kingdom, and USA. This all signed the agreement to jointly operate deep space and radar capability. Deep space plus radar capacity, and this is 2025. One, support the security and defense, support the security and defense, International Atomic Energy Agency.